Hi, and welcome to another Average Joe Hockey Report. In this video, we're going to go over 5 players that I have little to no hope for anymore. I think their careers have gone so downhill that their relevance is is basically unlikely or is likely to be irrelevant anymore. You get the point, okay? All right. At number 5, Max Domi. The fact that Domi was even exposed in the Seattle Kraken expansion draft, and the Kraken decided to go with someone I've never even heard before, just goes to show how downhill Domi's gone. Domi has has just come off of a season low 24 points. Like even in his rookie season in Arizona, or in the one season where he only played 59 games, he didn't get that many. He didn't get that low of points. Problem with Domi: liability defensively, and a lot of east-west play instead of going north-south, whatnot. Sometimes he tries to be a bit too fancy, and yeah. Now, at the same time, though, like Arizona Coyotes weren't necessarily the great offensively at the time, so part of the reason why his numbers never necessarily took off too much in Arizona. And in Montreal, yes, he had that one good season, and then kind of went downhill, and he felt he could play center. No, he's not a center. And then when they traded him, while I don't necessarily disagree with his comment when he said I didn't know where I stood with Coach Claude Julien. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. Claude Julien is not good at working with young players. However, now that he's on the Columbus Blue Jackets now, which is a team with not much depth at the moment, and um, uh, he had a chance to play center there, didn't necessarily work out. He's back, so yeah. And just basically it just goes to show who knows how long is it going to be till it just doesn't really work out for him, and who knows if any other NHL team would want him. At number 4, Alex Galchenyuk. Drafted 3rd overall by the Montreal Canadiens back in 2012. Galchenyuk was supposed to be the center that the franchise, well, I don't know about the franchise center but for the Montreal Canadiens, but definitely was supposed to end the woes that Montreal Canadiens had at center. And that didn't necessarily happen. Here's a player that's another defensive liability and gone through bad coaching. Now, it's been really downhill for Galchenyuk since his tenure with the Pittsburgh Penguins, which is kind of too bad because I thought in Pittsburgh that's where he would turn things around, because I thought he would play with either Evgeny Malkin or Sidney Crosby, but that wasn't the case at all. When he did play for Toronto, he had a decent season. He had 12 points in 26 games, but wouldn't be surprised if he was made the scapegoat after his turnover in the first round of the playoffs against his former team, the Montreal Canadiens, which ultimately led to Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki going on a 2-0 with Suzuki potting home the overtime winner. Okay, number 3, and this is where I stop with this ex-Habs hate. At number 3, Shane Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere, while his stats have dipped big time, a part of it was also a result of bad coaching as well. Alain Vigneault, who's been recently called out by Robin Lehner, which I don't know if I fully agree with Lehner's statement. I agree with Lehner calling Vigneault a dinosaur, but in regards to the meds handling, But anyways, let's get back on topic. It's scary to think that Gostisbehere had a 65-point season in 2017-2018, only to consistently drop in stats, where even in 41 games he had 20 points, which is better than the previous season. But the Flyers traded him for absolutely nothing to the Arizona Coyotes, who are a rebuilding team. And really, even if Gostisbehere shows some shades of his offensive ability in the past, who's gonna score for him? Like, Arizona is, like I said, they're on the complete rebuild, to a point where, do they even stay in Arizona? But in Gostisbehere's case, I don't even know if he rekindles his magic. If Arizona relocates to Quebec City, for example, which, fingers crossed there. At number 2, Rasmus Ristolainen. Ristolainen, here he is. He's about to join a new team in the Philadelphia Flyers. And I don't see that going so well for him. I've already talked about Alain Vigneault, and I think Vigneault and Ristolainen, not a good mix. As it is, the advanced metrics, statistics, whatever, for Ristolainen have been going downhill and whatnot. And I don't see things improving in Philadelphia. I don't. Yeah. Let's just basically put it, I think the Flyers, I think that trade will be a bust, and the Sabres will be laughing because of what they got in return and whatnot. And at number 1, and it's kind of too bad, because unlike these 4 players that I mentioned, this player puts up good statistics. However, with everything that's been happening with him off the ice, my number 1 pick for players that I've little to no hope for, Evander Kane. Evander Kane, it's too bad because he can consistently put up 20 goals. He's even put up 30. However, Kane is just too much of a distraction off the ice, and it might get to a point where no NHL is gonna want to take on this distraction. And he's played in the KHL before a bit in the 2012-2013 season, and wouldn't be surprised if that were to be the case for him again. San Jose, as it is, it doesn't necessarily help that, it's like I've said before, they're one of the biggest messes in the NHL. And with little to no, their prospect pool is very poor, with only William Eklund being the legit relevant prospect. And San Jose is also, stuck with bad contracts. But Evander Kane, just everything with him off the ice, and with the rumors of some teammates not wanting him on the team, it just gives me little to no faith, basically, about Evander Kane. This video is based mostly on opinion and may not have any implication on how these 5 players fare in their future. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me. And feel free to leave comments below who you think don't really have much faith in, you think their career is done and whatnot. Yeah. Also, don't forget to follow my Instagram account, Average Joe Hockey Report, and my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.